Hey guys, welcome back to the Miscast review.
Welcome back, Miscast.
This is Jake, and I'm Donovan, and we are your hosts for this podcast.
This lovely afternoon.
Is it?
It's 10.
It feels like it's the afternoon.
It does. It's because it's so hot out.
Afternoon vibe. No, dude,
But
I know.
it does have afternoon
guys, please stay
vibes.
out cool. Stay cool out there. Drink some water.
Yeah, we got excessive heat warnings going on and stuff. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Well, Jake, what is going on in the world of movie news? Because I really had something I wanted to bring up. If you.
Oh, seriously?
I did. Yeah.
Well, I mean, do you want to get to that first, or do you?
I would. And I mean, I guess it's not news so much. Well, it's partly news and then partly how people react to the news.
Okay.
So people are really. Well, first of all, have you seen the trailer for the new Wonka movie?
Yes.
Okay. Doesn't seem like people are loving it, man.
Really?
Dude, everyone is like, and I like, obviously, of course, like, I thought it looked corny, and I'm just like, okay, whatever, like, because, you know my rule with, trailers, not watch. You
don't watch them.
Unless I'm not going to even watch the movie.
Right.
So this one I didn't really care, like, to see, because I was like, I'm not really, I don't care to see Wonka, really, like. And then I like look in the comments and like all the people, this is from TikTok,
okay.
And all these people are like making their own video, and they're like just like making fun of the part where he's like, strike that, reverse it, because.
I forgot about that.
Dude, it was so uncomfortable when I saw that. He's like, prepare to like come down and listen, or he's like, come up and listen down. Oh, strike that, reverse it. And then I'm like, why is he acting like he's just like a street crackhead right now?
Yeah,
like,
that was weird.
Well, and I get like, and I hate this in movies so much, man, where they'll take like one thing that a character said from like the past like couple movies that they were in, and then they'll make it like the catchphrase or whatever. So then, like, when they put it in the trailer, everyone's like, oh, like, he said that, like,
he said the
in
thing.
the other movie. He said the thing. But the thing, think of, like, the, you want to get nuts, let's get nuts.
Oh, God, dude.
Yeah, that was rough.
Wait, sorry, side note. Did you see The Flash?
I didn't end up seeing The Flash, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Was it all right?
The first act was fine.
Okay.
The second act, actually super good. I was like, in the second act, I was like, okay, oh shit, like, this is like, we're getting some, like, this is fun, like, this has potential.
Yeah.
And then the third act was, oh man, it was crazy. In not a good way.
Oh, really? Was it just like multiverse, like, crap?
In just like the worst possible ways.
Oh my god. And this was like the last, like, movie. Why is Ezra Miller, I don't understand why they're still allowed to participate in society.
I don't know. I don't get how Warner Brothers and DC just keep, like, not caring what this person has done.
Like, it's not just like there was like like, offensive things said or anything like that. Like, straight up kidnapping,
like child kidnapping. Yeah. It's like beating the living hell out of a woman on the sidewalk. It's like pretty gnarly stuff.
Okay,
that they did.
I will say this though, maybe it's just me, but it seems like Hollywood and the general like zeitgeist surrounding celebrities are more forgiving, like, for people who have done physical shit in the past. Two examples just off the top of my head: Mark Wahlberg, and I love Marky Mark, but he has a horrible past. Yeah, horrible.
Oh, it's pretty bad.
I just don't know, what a weird, like, strangely specific prejudice to have. Like, Vietnamese.
It's so randomly specific. It's very odd.
And then the one dude, for those of you who don't know, Mark Wahlberg, there was like a thing when he was a teenager, young adult, like early 20s.
I think he was like 22.
Yeah, he was really
something
young.
Like that.
It was a long time ago, but still, was still awful. And he basically assaulted I believe he was Vietnamese.
Yeah, I think so.
I know that both of the two people that he assaulted in this story, there's another one coming. They were both the same Asian ethnicity.
Yeah.
So anyway, he hit one guy, and then he's like running, and he finds this other dude, this other Vietnamese guy, and he's like, "I need a place to hide." And the guy's like, "Sure, I got you." And then like he lets him hide while like the cops or whoever are looking for him for punching the first guy, and then he like. I think he like hits this guy with like a piece of wood like in the back or something, just like something really effed up, like
it's insane.
Out of nowhere. And
my jaw was on the floor when I was reading the story.
I
was like, what?
I was like, no, Mark, it can't be true.
Like, this is ridiculous.
And then Chris Brown beating the hell out of Rihanna. And again, I know it happened when he was younger, but still, it seems like people forget these things.
Yeah.
Like really easily. And then if you say something, then which is also bad, but people seem to kind of latch onto that a little.
Yeah,
longer.
Definitely.
It's kind of in timeout for longer.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing to think about. Some sort of psychologist out there can deconstruct that. Why that is. But sorry about the whole tangent. What were you saying before I got into the Flash? Catchphrases.
Oh yeah.
Something.
Yeah. So okay, so when he says the thing that
Wonka, I forgot. Sorry.
So the Wonka literally just says that one time offhand. It was like
is it in a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or like a Willy Wonka
in the first one? Gene Wilder.
He just says that at a random point? He just says it,
and he doesn't say it like he's like like he's touched in the head,
Yeah.
He says it like he's like, he messes something up and he's like, strike that, reverse it. And then Timothy Chalamet is like exaggerated. And I just thought
strike
it was
that, reverse it.
Strike that, reverse it. It's like, dude, And it's, I think the reason it bothers me so much though is because it wasn't even a catchphrase. It was just some offhand
just a
shit
random line,
he said in the first. It'd be like if you asked me, like, what am I drinking? And I was like, I'm drinking Pineapple Monster and an El Pollo Loco cup.
Yeah, and fast forward 5 movies, and that's like your go-to catchphrase.
It's like, nope, that's just something I said one time right now.
Yeah, I've never even thought about it since.
It's really...
I didn't even know that was a line that was said in the original. Because it was that not unimportant. Well, exactly. Nuts, let's get nuts. Like, that's very iconic. Like, that's like his thing.
Yeah.
And it's an intense scene. It's a memorable moment, That, I don't even know. I couldn't tell you what part of the movie that's from.
Dude,
I had no clue that was ever even said. Because it was just a regular moment. There was nothing there special about it.
Yeah, exactly. And do you know, is he supposed to be Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka because he just stole that lame-ass quote that he did? Or is he supposed to be Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka because he looks like him?
Or is it
in which case, why did he say the strike that reverse it? Yes.
Or is it just its own thing? Like it's not a prequel to either of those.
Wonka multiverse.
I know. We're gonna have a Willy Wonka crossover event, and it's like all 3 of them are gonna have to team up with all their Oompa Loompas to like fight like the FDA or something.
To fight OSHA.
Yeah. Dude. Oh man, that'd be crazy. But no, I mean, if it was gonna tie into either of those two, it would have to be the Gene Wilder. I feel like. Well,
I mean, so that character is dead to me. No, I'm just kidding. But man, that's just
but
I don't
who
like
knows?
that.
Well, I'll see it and I'll report back of what it is.
Thank you for
because
really
I'm gonna end up. I try and see everything that comes out, so was gonna see it regardless if I wanted to or not. So
He's like, what kind of chocolate do you like? Milk, dark, white? Oh, I can concoct it. And he like starts taking out his like chemistry set, and I'm like, no, like Wonka isn't like he's not like he's not like a mad scientist. Yeah, definitely mad.
Yeah,
the mad part. But
he's a mad chocolatist.
He's not. I don't know. I just don't really think they have like the spirit of the character quite right.
Yeah, I can totally see that. But
I mean, okay, maybe if it's gone off the book, I haven't read the book in so long. Was he supposed to be like a mad scientist type guy in the book?
I didn't even know there was a book.
Oh yeah, it's like one of the most famous books ever, by Roald Dahl, who wrote like James and the Giant Peach, and lots of other stuff.
Whoa!
He wrote that Big Fish movie. It's also Tim Burton also directed.
I had no idea.
Oh,
that's crazy.
Every day.
Wow. You learn something every day. That's exactly right.
Well, do you have any movie news?
Yeah, actually, I do have a couple of things. Let me just break out my show notes here. What's the camera doing? Oh, we're good. Yeah, so I got a couple things here.
Okay.
Firstly, so do you remember, I think it was in Spider-Verse episode, we talked about John Wick Chapter 5 was in the works.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I guess that was some, I don't know what happened there, because now Stilinski and Keanu Reeves have come out and said they're not sure about a Chapter 5.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Okay.
So, I guess it's not in the works.
Oh, okay, well then,
It's just they're still, throwing the idea around.
Dude, I feel like people, misuse and butcher that phrase so much. Someone will, mention something, one time, and they'll be like, oh, this is in the works.
Yeah, it's like someone asked Stilinski, he's like, are you guys going to do a Chapter 5? He's like, I mean, maybe, I don't know. And it's the headline's like, John Wick Chapter 5, greenlit, coming out August 2026. That's how they take it. Yeah, he came out again and they said that they're still unsure about it.
But we are getting the movie with Ana de Armas, right?
Yeah, we're getting Ballerina.
Okay.
And the show about the hotel.
Continental?
Yeah, the Continentals.
Yeah, I am more than fine with that. Yeah. I mean, I was perfect with John Wick 4,
Oh, yeah, me too. I don't know how they can beat it. But
yeah, it's perfect.
John Wick is confirmed to be alive.
Wait, what?
Technically.
How?
So there was an alternate ending that they had shot where you see Keanu looking out at the funeral, and John Wick is alive, standing there.
Uh-huh.
And then they were doing screenings for test audiences to see how it was going, and the test audiences preferred the more ambiguous ending that we ended up getting, where you're not sure if he's alive or dead. But the fact that there's a scene that shows that he's standing there kind of proves that he's alive.
I feel like, have you seen game theories or film theories video on? Okay, so I kind of thought that before I saw that, but that kind of compartmentalized my general belief that John Wick can't really die.
Yeah.
So already, and we should do a John Wick episode.
Definitely.
Because my God, but so it's a hyper realistic universe. So pretty much whenever you watch it, you can tell okay, this is kind of different than normal. A normal environment. It just kind of everyone everything is it's just kind of I feel like it's if we're reality 1, I feel like that would be reality 1A, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But no, a lot of the damage John Wick takes, when he falls off the balcony and he lands on the railing, and I'm like,
Dude,
dude,
the stair scene alone.
oh, that's so rough, dude.
He
But
falls down those stairs so much.
But yeah, man. With that, I think that like pretty much John Wick is not able to be killed or able to die.
Yeah, he's the boogeyman, dude.
He's not going anywhere, man.
No.
Let me say. Fuck, I just lost my train of thought.
Dude, doesn't that suck?
Oh my god.
Well, I can move on to the last bit of news.
No, hold on. No, just edit this part out.
Okay.
If you don't fucking edit this part out. No, because I had something I wanted to say about fucking John Wick, and like it just like completely like poof.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, so pretty much what I was saying is that
Did you lose it again?
no,
Come on, man.
no, I just started thinking of that interview where Harrison Ford is like really high, and he's like trying to thank his friend like Lucy for or trying to congratulate his friend Lucy for winning an award, and he's like, hey, I just want to say thank you to Lucy, and oh shit. have you seen that interview?
No,
dude, it's
I
so
haven't.
funny.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it is. It'll be one of your favorite things to watch. No, I was gonna say that. So John Wick,
Sorry.
Mr. Wick. John Wick is obviously in a hyper-realistic universe.
Yes.
So you have to edit this out so I don't keep repeating this point. Okay, hold on. You know what I thought was interesting to your point about how John Wick may still be alive is that when Kane shoots him, it's like in those 3 points where you've seen, I think it's, he gets shot 3 times, where you've seen, he told the doctor told John Wick to shoot him there in chapter 3.
Yeah.
And I think there's been a couple other instances where this is obviously used as like a fake out, like non-lethal, like bullet wound.
Yeah.
So I mean, if anything, I don't think that John Wick died because of, a few measly bullets and, a gut shot. I feel like he's already dead inside, and he's just such a sad guy. Like, he's kind of like, he's already like a ghost in a way.
Exactly.
I don't feel like, I mean, I think if anything that we can get from the ending of chapter 4, it's that he finally got to rest.
Exactly.
Similar to Ryan Gosling's character in Blade Runner.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like...
Well, actually, I feel like that was a bit more positive because, obviously, I feel like Ryan Gosling probably wanted to die.
Yeah.
After, Ana de Armas was taken away from him.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I think that, I mean, that's what I kind of took away from it. But either way, man, I don't think we need another John Wick movie necessarily.
No, that's exactly what I was about to say, is that I feel like the fact that it did end with him finally getting to rest, what is it worth taking him back out of that rest to do what? Kill more people?
Yeah, no, I know that's what...
Well, you'll just be retreading chapter 1 basically at that
pretty
point.
much.
And it's what's the point in that? Just let him finally be happy and rest,
Yeah, and in the meantime, we're getting the ballerina movie.
Yeah.
We're getting.
We could just get more
Continental
prequel stuff with John Wick if you really wanted.
If you really want, yeah.
But there's no way I feel to continue the story where it left off. But that doesn't mean they can't. Keanu never ages, so you could easily do a couple prequel movies or prequel series or something with him. And
if that's what you want to,
yeah, if you still want more John Wick, then I feel like that's the better way to go.
I mean, just off the top of my head, I feel like they could, give us one where what's his name, Vigo, in the first one was talking about how he's like, I gave John this task so impossible, and then they could just do that's the climax where he kills all the whoever, whatever mafia family he kind of dismantles to become, like, to get out of the life.
Exactly,
Like
dude.
that, yeah, lots of ideas.
There's lots to do there.
So much room for activities.
Yeah. So, to get into the final last bit of news, I actually wrote the show notes into that research before this thing ended up happening, but it was about how the Screen Actors Guild was about to go on strike.
Okay.
And then before we got to record, they went on strike. So it kind of basically just shifted what I was going to say. It said, yeah, they're on strike now, which is insane, and everything is shut down.
So, okay, I'm glad we're talking about this because, as the more, knowledgeable in the film world between the two of us, I have some questions.
Yeah.
So, does this just mean that we're not going to get any new, like, TV shows, pretty much?
Yeah.
Like, even, like, independent studios, or...
Well, I mean, as long as this people aren't in the guild, then...
So, like, who wouldn't be in the guild?
Just a lot of, like me. I'm clearly not in a guild.
Okay.
But, like, more smaller independent filmmakers.
You type people?
Yeah. Okay. Like, people who, like, haven't... They're, like, doing their own thing. It's a lot more independent and stuff. And then that wouldn't have signed anything with the unions.
Okay.
So, or they haven't done enough, because usually you have to do, like, I think there's a certain amount of, like, certain level budget films that you have to work in order to finally be eligible to join the union or something. Or for a writer, you have to have a certain amount of your screenplays produced or something to finally be eligible to join the union, stuff like that. So it could be a lot of people who just haven't reached eligibility yet, and just more people who maybe haven't wanted to join the union and stuff like that. They can all still work, but they're not the people whose projects are being funded by Hollywood.
Okay.
So, like, it's still, like, not really anything we're gonna, like, see as, like, more, like, mainstream. Those are all stuff that's gonna be, like, small, like, independent theaters.
So we're just not getting, like, any new, like, TV releases of anything, because I heard, like, Stranger Things season 5 is, like, delayed until 2027.
Yeah. And then, like,
is it filmed yet?
No.
So all those kids are just getting old.
Yeah, so, like, the problem with that is, like, well, they haven't even been shooting because they had to stop production for the writer strike because they were still writing it. So they had to stop there. And then, like, Outer Banks, for example, they're shooting season 4, and with the writer strike, they had a certain amount written already so they could shoot that. Okay. But now with the actor strike, now they just have to shut down production. And, like, that's happening to shows and movies all over the place. Like Deadpool 3, for example, is just shooting. Now they have to completely shut down.
It's with movies, too?
Everything. Yeah. Movies, shows, the entire film industry shut down, basically.
Okay, well, that answers
which is
my
crazy.
Question.
Yeah.
So, has this ever happened before? Did it happen, like, in the 60s or something?
The first time both writers and actors unions went on strike together was, I think, in the 60s. So, yeah. And then the last time that the Screen Actors Guild itself was on strike was in, like, 1980.
Oh, okay.
Where for the writer strike, the last time they were on strike was 2007.
Okay.
So it was a bit sooner. But yeah, dude, it's crazy out there right now. Like, the entire industry shut down, which is even worse than when it had to shut down for COVID. Because for COVID, at least, like, there was a lot of protocols that were quickly implemented so productions could resume, Mm-hmm. So, like, a lot of stuff was still being made during COVID. It's just everything that was slated for that year was already had to just be released later.
Uh-huh.
But this is worse because there's just like no way anybody can even work. There's no like safety protocols for them to keep working.
Well,
it's just no one can work.
Why
period.
doesn't like I don't know. I could see something happening like someone like Seth Rogen or Adam Sandler who like facilitates like a lot of like, you know, movies being made kind of like, you know, just with their own like crew and friends and stuff like that. Wouldn't they go like they could go like make a movie?
No, because
own?
they're all part of the guild in their unions, so they can't.
Man.
Yeah, dude, it's rough. There's like,
rough, dude.
I mean, like technically, anybody can still work if they wanted to. They just would get kicked out of the union, and never, as a result, really be able to work again. So, it's not worth it.
So like people aren't even. I'm sure people are like writing stuff like on the side, like you do.
If they're not a part of the guild.
No, I'm saying if they're part of the Writers Guild and they're just like, I like writing. This is why I got into this. I'm not writing right now. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna write a script just for, you know, fun for.
I assume they probably can do that if it's not a full assignment. Like, I imagine like Tarantino, for example, could probably still work writing a movie or something.
He better. So does that mean his last film is gonna be like pushed out like even longer now?
Yeah. Dude, I know it sucks. Everything is shut down. You already are satisfied because.
What? Oh no, I said it. As far as I'm concerned, we already have 10 films from him.
I mean, I guess so. If you really want to go there.
I mean, we can go there. No.
You want to get nuts?
Yeah,
Let's get nuts. No, but like.
Way better than the trailer.
What?
No, when you said that, I was like, that's way better than the trailer.
Oh,
yeah. Because that was actually funny. It didn't make me cringe.
Yeah, in the Flash trailer.
Oh my god.
Anyway, yeah. So literally everything is completely shut down, and the studios do not care. They think they're being crazy.
I saw the thing where they're like, we're gonna keep letting them riot until they lose their apartments or whatever.
Yeah, what is up?
Horrible.
That's insane. Like, do you not care about these people at all?
I just don't know, like, how they're going to, like, you know, pretty soon they're gonna start running out of money.
Yeah,
they're not making money.
No, they're not making money. They have to like live off of savings and stuff.
So what are they? What's the end game?
Well, the end game is that these studios will agree to the union's terms and actually pay them a living wage, protect them from AI usage in the projects, and what was the last one? My God, brain fart. Livable wage, AI protection, and residuals.
Oh, okay.
And stuff.
Yeah.
So like that's all they're asking for is like to be like that stuff to be fair, and the studios are just like no, and which is crazy because like 80% of the Screen Actors Guild makes less than $25,000 a year.
Wow.
Like, and you have to make $26,000 a year in the union to be able to get health care. So like most of the people like can't even get health care with the guild, man, because they're not like making the threshold because the studios aren't paying them. And they were like, I think Matt Damon was talking about this where he said that a lot of the times the residuals are what bumps those people into the threshold to get health care. And with streaming, no one is getting paid residuals.
Oh my God.
Like the dude who created Squid Game, he'd be like getting so many residuals because people watching it on Netflix and stuff, but he hasn't seen a dime.
That guy should be like loaded.
I know, but he's not.
How popular Squid Game was.
Or like anytime someone watches an episode of The Office or something on Peacock, residuals are supposed to still go out regardless, and like a fair price, because that's how it was with cable, you know?
Yeah.
And they just need that protection. And with the AI stuff for acting, dude, it's so bad because like they were just saying for background actors who's like that they have to like that's how they make a living is going from set to set to set and hopefully being on a production for a while.
Yeah.
And making a good amount of money every day. Now the studios want them to come in for one day's work, get paid for that day, do a full scan, and they can use their likeness in any project or the rest of that project without paying those background actors.
Dude, what is going on here?
I don't know.
This is like
it's so
like,
fucked
this is
up.
Really unsettling to me.
I know. It's like it's literally a Black Mirror episode.
Dude,
it's literally you know what's so insane?
What?
Is that episode dropped like a month ago? And
they have an episode just like what you're
literally
describing?
about AI likeness and stuff, and like they can use like their example was Salma Hayek. Like she had in her contract for like they use Streamberry, which is their version of Netflix.
Okay.
And they even had the same logos and everything. And she had signed a contract with that streaming service to like in the fine print said like we can use your likeness for any project anytime, whatever. And then a show drops with her likeness that she had no idea about, and it's like ruining her reputation because everyone thinks she like worked on and acted in this project, and that's this whole thing. And I was like, oh man, that's really unsettling that like AI is going to do that one day. But I'm sure that we won't have to deal with that for like at least 10 years.
It's coming.
And then a month later, all of this is happening, and I'm like, how is this happening already? Like, they just dropped this episode, and in my head, I was like, oh, we got like 10 years until this happens. And then 1 month later, it's happening.
Oh, yeah, no, dude.
And that's what they want to do.
It is catching up fast.
And it's like, you just released and funded this project to make fun of you for being dickheads and doing this, and then you unironically want to do that?
Yeah, no,
like,
I know.
How
I know.
dumb are you, dude?
And probably all the CEOs watch that episode and they're like, oh, it's just like what we're doing.
Yeah, like what? Like I don't know. They're crazy, dude. It's like these people, like I feel like there was one quote I saw earlier today that I thought was really good. I forget exactly what it said, but it's saying it was like all of like the strikes, people were going on strike to like maintain the human soul in art, basically.
Oh, I like that.
And like creativity.
I mean, pretty much, dude.
Because that's exactly what it is. Because like these studios want to just like make conveyor belt blockbusters, you know, like a lot of Marvel movies right now, a lot of big blockbusters. They just all
feel like they're written by AI.
Exactly, and it's just because they lost the human soul part of creativity that a lot of the like early MCU movies had that were very tangible.
Yeah.
And like that's something you can connect with. It's like all of that has been lost, and now Hollywood is all about just cranking out huge movies, making $1 billion return, having a great time, doing all the drugs possible, you know, yacht parties, probably all this shit. And then now as a society, and they're just trying to level up and keep doing cheaper just garbage and making more money. That's all this AI stuff is, and it's just a progression of that.
And everyone's going to go see it.
But no, because the entire audience climate has completely shifted, because now you're seeing like all of these big blockbusters are bombing at the box office. They're like Indiana Jones, for example, was projected to make like 300 million opening weekend, and it made like 60 million.
Oh, damn. That sucks.
And that's how it's been for like every single blockbuster that's been coming out. Is like,
I see what you mean.
Everything's bombing, but the things that aren't bombing are like art house films, independent films. Like Asteroid City, which is a nice segue, is Wes Anderson's fastest grossing film he's ever made. Fastest grossing film he's ever made.
Really?
It's made more money in shorter amount of time than any of his other films.
I wonder what it was. Maybe, I'm sure everyone just, like, has been brushing up on his movies.
But, like, that's how it's been for, like, all of these independent films.
Oh, really?
It's just, like, they're, like, making a bunch of money, and, like, people are talking about him and are, like, really excited about them, where, like, the blockbusters are now bombing. And it's, like, the climate's changed. People are over that. They want to find, like, heart and soul in their art and, like, really feel something and connect with something. So it's, like, it's shifting again. But now the studios and everyone are, like, on a fast track train that they've been on with the blockbusters and trying to, like, do all this AI garbage. And it's like, yeah, now society's like, we don't want that, which I think is awesome, because
I love that, yeah.
The type of movies I'm trying to make are more smaller independent films. So it's like the industry's shifting in a very good way.
I think that's perfect. But also, you know, I'm sure you know people like this as well, who, like, will just kind of go see, and not in a bad way, but just kind of go see, like, whatever. Like, if a movie, like, looks like the slightest bit, like, entertaining, it's like, you know, it's a given that they're gonna go see it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, there was, what was it? Totally forgot about it. It looked really dumb. Oh, there's some movie on Netflix that has Ryan Reynolds, and I guess it's directed by Michael Bay, and it just has, like, a bunch of explosions.
Underground 6?
That one.
Yeah, that movie's insane.
Is it good?
No.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But it's crazy, dude. Like, it's a Michael Bay movie, so it's what you'd expect.
Just, okay.
Like, it's entertaining.
Okay.
Like, for sure.
But it's not like a masterwork or anything.
Not whatsoever. No.
I've had that recommended to me by a couple people.
I mean, I would definitely check it out just because it's like it's an entertaining joyride, basically.
Okay.
So it's just like, don't expect anything good.
Is Ryan Reynolds basically doing, like, the Deadpool?
Yeah, he's doing the Ryan Reynolds thing.
Okay.
You know, it's what you would expect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's maybe I will check that one out then.
Yeah, it's a fun time.
Okay.
So you want to transition into the movie now?
Let's
hop on the train, the miniature train, into the desert and hang out in Asteroid City.
I love it, man. That was a great way to open the play when everything came into color.
Yeah, dude, that was really cool. And the song they used, I don't know what the song was, but it's like, it was really.
It was some, like, 50s or 60s.
It gave me Darjeeling
song.
Limited vibes.
Yes, I'm sure that's what he was going for. He's
yeah,
like,
with
hey,
the train and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, Asteroid City is Wes Anderson's brand new film. The Letterboxd description, or logline, or summary, whatever you would like to call it, I don't care, is set in a fictional American desert town circa 1955. The itinerary of a junior stargazer space cadet convention organized to bring together students and parents from across the country for fellowship and scholarly competition is spectacularly disrupted by world-changing events. I mean, I think that's decent.
I feel like
summary.
That kind of makes it seem like more like, I guess, action-packed than it was.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like a very, almost like a National Lampoon movie.
Like, you mean by that description?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. I thought you were saying that you got National Lampoon vibes from when you saw the movie.
Oh, like, no, not at all. No, the description gives me, like, National Lampoon vibes.
Yeah, no, it makes it kind of sound like there's, like, some crazy stakes. No, dude, this movie is, I think a lot of Wes Anderson movies kind of have, like, that bedtime story vibe.
Definitely. Definitely.
But this one in particular is a play. Like, it's obviously, you know, crafted to be like the bedtime story. It's a story within a story. Well, yeah, within a story or within a movie.
Yeah.
And so the actual movie, yeah, it takes place in 1955. And it's like it's black and white for like the first maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes, something like that.
Something like that. And then it transitions into, what is the backdrop for the movie, which is Asteroid City. And that is basically like where the majority of the movie, like 90% of the movie, takes place.
Yeah.
Which is, this play that Adrian Brody and Ed Norton are putting on.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was great. I really liked that touch. I loved Bryan Cranston as the narrator.
Yeah, he gives like Twilight Zone vibes, kind of.
Dude, yes, yes, I love it.
Which was kind of cool.
He's like, am I in this? Sorry.
Oh, dude, that scene was so funny when he was in the play and he's like by the showers.
He's like, I'm not in this. I'm sorry.
That was great.
But yeah, man. Well, I mean, what are your thoughts?
So I've seen it twice now, and I enjoyed it so much more the second time.
Okay.
I feel like the first time I saw it, I was just like sitting there. I was taking in what I was seeing, and then like I was just kind of like lukewarm on it. I was like, yeah, it's really good. It's a Wes Anderson movie, but I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't really do anything for me.
For sure.
But this time around, I loved it.
Okay.
Like, I had so much more fun with it. And I think it's because I just kind of like, I understood the vibe more, and I knew what I was getting into. Where like, I didn't know so much going into it. Like, I didn't know it was like about a play and watching the play. And then like, I didn't know about like the alien stuff and everything. Oh yeah, sorry, disclaimer. We don't do no spoilers.
Oh,
I forgot to give that disclaimer at the beginning.
That without saying.
Yeah, but anyway,
the aliens is the disruptive force. That was mentioned.
The world-changing event.
But it was like, it wasn't like a hostile interaction. It was just
it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was great.
It was great.
I love that scene.
So I didn't know about a lot of that stuff, and I just knew about like the being in the town and like the bright, beautiful pastel color vibes and everything. But so now we're going in like fully understanding what the movie was. I enjoyed it so much more. I picked up on and understood a lot of what the dialogue was trying to say in the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Okay, what did you get out of that?
Well, there was just like a lot of like mentions of, and like people talking about like what's going on in the play. And and when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know what they're talking about, because I don't know what they're talking about, but then after seeing the whole story and then going back and seeing that part again, I was like, oh, they're talking about this part of the movie later down the road when the alien comes, and they were talking about like, they were saying the lines that they said then and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense, just more context and stuff. And I think that elevated the enjoyment for me. And the first time I saw it, I didn't really care too much for all the black and white, like behind the scenes of the play stuff.
Oh, okay.
I was just like, this is fine, but like it's kind of taking me out of it. I feel like it's not necessary. But this time around, I loved it.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
I really, really loved the whole, like, we're seeing this production being put on, and then we're seeing the production, Like, I thought that was really cool. And then knowing that it's a play going in, I was like, oh, he's doing a lot of like framing and like camera movements, and like the way the story is like unfolding is very theater like way, or like style. And
did the first time you watched it, did you not get that it was a play?
No, I knew that it was a play when I was watching it, but like just going in fully accepting that whole part of the story, that it is a play that I'm watching and stuff, I was able to just like look at more the direction that Wes was doing, and I just could see that he was doing a lot more of a theatric type of production when it was within the Asteroid City play stuff, the color portions. And it was very interesting to like see that, because he doesn't really do that in other films. So it was it was cool.
I feel like it was very Like, it was kind of like an introspection of a film compared to all of his other ones.
Yeah.
Because it kind of got into a little bit behind the scenes. And if we just had the Asteroid City, I feel like it would be just, you know, a standard, like, Wes Anderson, you know, film to come out, like, after. And when I say standard, I don't, like, because all of his films are kind of, like, different things. But I'm saying it would just be a kind of, like, everything that we've come to expect from him and not really do anything like new and still be good.
Exactly.
But yeah, I really like the touch, like that it was like the production behind the production.
Me too.
Like
yeah.
said,
I really enjoyed that.
One of my favorite scenes was when, like, you know, those two parts meshed and Jason Schwartzman's character, Augie, comes backstage. And then you said that you saw, that's also the one you see Jeff Goldblum as the alien, which I'm bummed I missed. Did it just look like Jeff Goldblum?
Well, he was in the suit and he had the head off. So he was sitting down and it was all in the black suit. And then you just saw his head.
Was he like wearing his glasses or anything like that? Or
I think he was. I could be wrong though. I don't remember.
I'm bummed I missed that part.
Yeah, you'll have to look out on that next time you watch it.
No, for sure. Yeah, and then he just goes back scene and he just talks to Margot Robbie's character, who I forgot, like, I saw she was in the opening credits. I was like, oh, dope. I didn't even know she's in this. And then she was just in it for like 5 minutes, but it was like some of the best 5 minutes of the film.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah.
It was a great sequence and a great cameo. I had no idea that she was going to be in it going in, and it was cool. I also didn't know Jeff Goldblum was going to be in it, so that was cool.
Yeah.
Who else? I think there was a couple other people I wasn't sure about. I don't think I knew Edward Norton was going to be in it.
Oh, I didn't know he was going to be in it. I didn't know Bryan Cranston was going to be in it. I didn't know Scarlett Johansson was going to be in it. And her character was really good. She was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
One of the standouts for sure. But I think Tom Hanks' character might have been my favorite.
Yeah.
Or at least like the funniest. Like
yeah.
He's just like a fucking major, like, just slut. He's just trying to even his actor to Margot Robbie's character. What did he say? He's like, when he comes out, he's like, oh, are you single, or just something like that.
Oh no, that was the guy who was the mechanic. He came out onto the balcony and was like, hey, how's it going? We were supposed to have a scene together, you know.
I thought that was Tom Hanks' character.
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
no, that was the mechanic guy.
Oh, okay. Well, what was when Tom Hanks? He's like, are you married?
Yeah, that was so good.
He's just like trying to, yeah. Oh my God, just trying to put on the riz, as the kids say.
Yeah, seriously, he was laying it on strong.
I know.
What did you think of Steve Carell?
Oh yeah, his character is funny too. He wasn't in it like a whole ton. I think he maybe had like 3 or 4 scenes. But yeah, his character is funny. Steve Carell is always great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was just the proprietor of the little cottage rentals, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I heard today that apparently he was the only character in the whole film to smile.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Everyone else has like a deadpan, straight face the whole time.
I mean, that's true, but I feel like that's like
wait.
lot of Wes Anderson characters. What?
No, I'm pretty sure the Scarlett Johansson's character's daughter smiles at one point to Woodrow. I'm like 90% sure.
I was thinking. Okay, yeah, I was trying to think. I was like, does anyone else? No, well, because Steve Carell's character actually flat out just seems happy and like he doesn't, hate his life.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's like a Wes Anderson thing. Like, I would add that to like the list of things with the symmetry, and the pastel colors. Is there any other Wes Anderson trademarks?
Just like very smooth camera movements.
Oh, like the whip pans.
Yeah, whip pans, insert shots.
Oh yeah, insert shots are pretty common.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff.
Sets that look like a dollhouse.
Yeah, a lot of
like miniatures.
paintings, a lot of miniatures, a lot of background paintings. Yeah, a lot of classic filmmaking type of stuff.
So I would add like that like center shot of like a character just looking like depressed, but not like they're about to cry, but just more like they've kind of just been living with this for a while and like, this is me.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of like this like this really like kind of like blank stare.
Yeah.
Kind of, where the characters, you can tell they're just kind of like thinking of like, you know, what their life would be like if it wasn't, you know, this way or whatever.
Exactly.
And it's interesting because I always see this exemplified with characters that Jason Schwartzman plays, both in Darjeeling and Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Mm-hmm.
But his characters are always like, I wouldn't call them like depressed, but they seem like they are just kind of missing something in life. But
a little neurotic, maybe.
A little bit, yeah. But what I love about his performances so much, especially in this movie, is that he doesn't, you know, rely on any tropes of just being like a gloomy, like depressed, just like mopey dude like we see in so many movies, like the stereotype, you know. And he's just kind of like does it in his own way, where he just kind of comes off more like this guy who is obviously very deep and very like emotionally I guess like emotionally affected by things, and like, you know, it kind of gives like a really like a strong feel of like realism. Like it really like brings me, like, you feel like every character he plays, I feel like you know that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like for the time you're watching the movie.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't do it, like I said, in that exaggerated, like, kind of like Hollywood, like, way where it's like, oh, the guy, you know, wakes up on the couch and he's covered in beer cans. And
yeah.
He's like, oh, like, you know. And then, like, he, like, looks at a picture of, like, his ex-girlfriend or whatever, and he's like, well, guess it's day 200 of this, you know.
So not Star-Lord and Guardians Volume 3.
How was I just thinking of, like, I had Chris Pratt in my head looking sad as shit eating cereal at his grandpa's house.
Yeah.
When I was talking, when I like the whole time I was just talking about that.
Yeah. That's Star-Lord right there.
I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, I would say that's pretty much what I'm describing. I wouldn't take any points away from that because I feel like that was necessary.
Yeah, it was right for his character.
But
exactly what you're saying, that this Wes Anderson's characters aren't more as like just obviously like messed up like that. It's very,
a way
like,
more
depressed and stuff.
Real.
It's very like stoic and just like deadpan. Just like you can see the emotions, those same emotions, but going on within, like behind their eyes, rather than like it's just out in the open, like of what they're doing. You know.
Yeah, exactly. It's not really like. Yeah, no, exactly what you just said. Well, perfectly said.
Yeah, and it makes sense that, especially in this film, that everyone is very deadpan, because I was watching a review earlier today, and I think it's because I was left with a lot of questions after, and I feel like those questions are pretty much answered after I heard this. I forget the name of the guy's channel, otherwise I'd shout him out. I'll leave it in the description. But he was basically, everyone's kind of deadpan because the film is like about grief a lot, and like how we handle grief.
Okay.
And I mean, you see how it's kind of apparent that that's what it's about, because you see Augie and Scarlett Johansson's character, I forget her name, but they talk a lot about their grief and their sadness and how they handle it and stuff. And I think from what this guy says, in the whole like classroom scene in the end where everyone's chanting, "You can't wake up if you don't fall asleep."
Yeah,
and
I was like,
afterwards
what
we were
was
like,
that?
what was that about? This guy was saying that basically, like, you can't wake up if you don't fall asleep, meaning you can't move past your grief unless you go within and like work through it and stuff, and then you can come out the other end and actually be happy and content and like moving on. And you have to like go to sleep, go within yourself, so you can wake up and be okay. Which I would have never gotten if I didn't have someone else tell me that. Because I could not figure it out.
I knew that was seen, like something was going on there, and I always hate that when that happens.
Yeah.
Like when I'm just like, oh man, I know this is like something, and
This
I know
is a
I'm
meaningful moment.
I know I'm not gonna get it, and I have to look it up.
Yeah. It's like, damn, I'm really not that smart as I thought I was.
Yeah, no, I know, no, for real.
Yeah. Dang it, man.
But also, like that was super ambiguous, dude. Like that could have meant. I thought at very first, because they said that they mentioned that Edward Norton's character, the playwright, was like killed in a drunk driving accident, or he got in an accident or something.
Yeah, he was drunk driving and crashed and died.
So I thought that was like a kind of like a drunk driving like warning, like from the theater or something. I'm not saying like from Wes Anderson to the audience. I'm saying like in the movie from the theater to the theater's audience.
Gotcha.
And they're just like, that's basically like the phrase that they were kind of like using to say like don't like drink and drive or something.
Yeah. Interesting.
But obviously that was way off. I was just like, I mean, I wasn't even sure about that. I just was trying to make meaning out of something
exactly.
that had none.
Do you have any like negatives that you can think of?
Negatives. I think I enjoyed the movie the whole way through. Really good length.
Yeah, it flew by.
Yeah, it's like an hour 45, isn't it?
Really? I have no idea. It's definitely under 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Something under for sure. I just don't know what.
Yeah, even like, and we didn't mention, this is definitely a positive. This is not a negative. The alien scenes.
Yeah, we never really talked about the alien.
I know. I love. Well, okay, this is a good segue into like kind of like the vibe of the movie, or me like trying to. How would you explain? It's like, I think the concept of it is called mid-century futurism.
Yeah, kind of like the Jetsons.
Like the Jetsons or Meet the Robinsons.
Yeah. Like
where like they are what they thought the future would kind of pan out to be.
Or the Incredibles.
Or the Incredibles. Okay, that perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the best example of that.
Yeah.
What they thought the future would be in the 50s and 60s.
I wish it was, man.
Dude, it's so dope. It's just like, not even
if the
close.
style didn't change in the 80s, we probably would. Because we're on... The 80s changed it all, and then we've just been on, like, a projection from that ever since.
Started doing coke and, listening to hair metal, and here we are.
I wish... Yeah, dude. That's mid-century futuristic. It's just so sick.
I love how they used... like those elements with the alien landing to kind of show like that's exactly like what they thought, that was their interpretation of aliens and UFOs in the 60s.
And it's kind of cool because it's like
or in the late 50s.
Yeah. I completely forgot what I was going to say. It was really cool that it was like what was I going to say after that? Oh, it kind of feels like it's like a puppet. It's kind of
like a Muppet or like a hand puppet.
Yeah, because it's very like stop motion-y type of animation when he comes down and takes the asteroid and stuff.
Yeah.
And I love Wes's humor too, because in that moment it's kind of a really tense moment, and then you just see Augie slowly lift up his camera and take a picture of him, and then the alien like poses with the asteroid and stuff. Dude, it was just like, that made me crack up. I love Wes's humor. That's great.
I didn't even notice that. But that's hilarious.
And so and the alien and the ship looked fantastic. And it's so whimsical and weird that like no one else could get away with doing that except for Wes Anderson.
Because he has to do it like he makes it work on two fronts, like very well. So the first was obviously for the movie, where he makes it, look like a very Wes Anderson-esque spacecraft and alien, but also he makes it work, being that the movie is set in 1955 and is a stage production.
Exactly.
So it looks like, something that you would see in like a stage play, like as a prop.
Exactly.
So
the way it like slowly drops down is how like it would be slowly lowered down on the stage and stuff.
Exactly.
It's like it's very that's a part of the direction I was talking about. That's like it's very like theatric in the way it's produced.
Exactly, dude.
And it's just fascinating. I know it's starting to get warm in here.
I could see I can see a few of his movies like being like kind of like reminiscent of a stage production, just in like
definitely
the pacing and the dialogue and stuff like that.
I mean, Grand Budapest Hotel is very
Budapest and
play.
I feel like Darjeeling are very kind of linear narrative, like like this location to this location to this location, and then like dialogue taking place confined in all those locations.
Definitely.
But this one is like, I thought it was really cool to see like both the setting that was Asteroid City, because it didn't feel like kind of, how would I say it? Like it didn't feel like crappy. It felt like if I just got that chunk that without the black and white scenes, I would just think it's like, oh, this is just a Wes Anderson, movie with, and he uses very like, this style of like setting up his props to where it looks like a play. Yeah. But I love that they took the extra step and actually made Asteroid City be something that was written like a product of its time in the 50s about, that Midwestern town or the desert town that, is visited by aliens and kind of has like you got the boom of the, Hollywood actors coming, like all of those actors coming in, and like that's what Scarlett Johansson's character really kind of personified in the film. And then also you had all of the kind of like the space race stuff and that new kind of technological like frontier that we were kind of like, messing with in the late 50s, early 60s, all that. So, and then that was exemplified by Woodrow and all of his what was it, like all the people in the science fair that were getting awarded for all of their their projects, inventions. And I just love that. It felt very 50s to me.
It did.
But not just abstract 50s. It was clear that Wes did a lot of research on the decade, and he's like, I want to focus on this specific aspect of the decade.
I thought it was really good. I really don't have many. I don't think I really have any negatives.
I don't either, dude.
Like
this movie I'd like watch before bed or something,
I the more I think about it, and like it's the more I enjoy it, and like I can see people saying that it's like a little overstuffed, and I can see people saying that the black and white bits are unnecessary, but for me, I enjoy every bit of it. Things could be more fleshed out, but I kind of like the ambiguity of it. I don't know. I think I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5.
Oh, what? Wow, that's
I know.
That's really good.
I was not expecting to do that.
I would probably give it an 8.5. I think that's like still like a really good rating. I mean, I really liked the movie. It was great. I mean,
I was gonna give it a 4.5. Literally up until this point, I said 5.
You're just like,
because I was like
5.
The more I just been like talking about it with you right now and like thinking about it, the more I just want to go see it again. And
it's very rewatchable, I would say.
I didn't have that feeling after French Dispatch, but then again, I only saw that one. I've seen that one once.
Okay.
So I feel like maybe going back and revisiting that, it'll have a similar effect that this did, where I'll get a lot more insights into it and enjoy it a lot more. Because I think after the first time I saw Asteroid City, I gave it a 4.5, but I think I was feeling more. It was leaning more towards 4. Where now I'm just like,
I love how movies
5.
can fluctuate like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah,
5.
man.
Wasn't expecting that to happen.
I mean, any side notes?
One fun little tidbit I guess that I learned today too, that is that Steve Carell's character apparently was supposed to be Bill Murray.
Oh yeah, Bill Murray wasn't okay. I can see that. What happened to Bill Murray? That's
it was
one of the regulars.
Something had to do with COVID.
Oh.
Because this was shot in like.
It's like, hey Wes, I don't really think I want to go out there.
Yeah, I think this was shot like pretty peak 2020 ish. So, or like or no, I don't know when it was shot, but I know it was sometime around there. Maybe 2021. I don't know, but regardless, he was supposed to be Steve Carell's character and couldn't because of something having to do with COVID.
Oh,
I don't
gotcha,
know the specifics, but yeah.
Okay.
But I think Steve Carell killed it. I think he fitted that character really well.
Yeah. Oh no, he did.
So,
I mean,
maybe even more than Bill Murray would have.
Probably, yeah. He made it like his own thing.
Yeah.
I love how every Wes Anderson movie just has like a million actors that we like, and it's just kind of all them like hanging out and doing different roles. It kind of feels like a summer camp for just actors that we like.
Exactly, and they're not doing it for the paycheck because they don't make any money on these things.
I read that Ed Norton actually loses money. He's like, yeah, I have to do like 3 movies to do like one Wes Anderson movie because like I lose money.
Yeah, that's one of the things I sent you on Instagram.
That was okay. That was for me. Oh, okay. Well,
because he said that on this production he made $4,500.
And usually didn't I think he lost money on Moonrise Kingdom.
I'm
pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so.
But that's I think that's cool, dude. They
do it for the art and because it's Wes,
and they love working with it. I'm sure like they're just happy to be there.
Exactly. It's just for the fun of it. It's for the love of the game. It's not for the paycheck. Which is
love
awesome because it makes it even better that all these like huge A-list actors are like, it's like, yeah, dude, I just want to go like play and have fun.
Yeah,
and that's like that really comes through.
They're like, I just want to go give like a good performance and this like this kind of like little art piece that this director I like is making.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's awesome. So, yeah, it's a fun little tidbit.
Yeah. Okay.
But
okay. Cool.
Any other final thoughts?
I did want to mention Maya Hawke is starting to like. I am seeing so much Uma Thurman in her.
Oh yeah, me too.
Like,
definitely.
Yeah. And I'm glad they realized that they're, whoever the powers that be, that Wes Anderson in this case is like, oh shit, Maya Hawke's a good actress. Let's make sure that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's another little thing. I really enjoyed her character, and I loved the little kid Dwight.
Oh, dude, Dwight was hilarious.
Sick.
That guy was great. I respect Dwight.
Yeah, he just ran off to hang out with the Cowboys, smoking a cigarette. That was so funny.
And then Dwight has the Cowboys come back and they like play the.
Dude,
like
the song is so good.
Yeah.
I love the song.
Whatever, the Scuttle Button or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it was called. Yeah, that was. Also, I love how obviously Wes Anderson just keeps the same actors around because I recognize 2 of the Cowboys from Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. One of them was Sal George that was doing all of the David Bowie songs.
Yep.
The black guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy is my favorite. We could use this as a segue to kind of discuss some of our other favorites and least favorites of his movies, because I would like to start by saying I am not the biggest Life Aquatic fan.
What?
I don't really like it that much, man.
Really?
But I do
That's
love.
surprising.
My favorite part of it is Sal George's character. That I think he's like that's just like that's his stage name. I don't know what his actual name is. He's like a Peruvian singer or something. And he's just doing like David Bowie covers like the whole time. I thought that was sick. He's just playing guitar on the submarine.
Wow. I'm just like in shock that you aren't a huge fan of that. I thought that would be right up your alley.
I just think the movie is really like, it's kind of weird. Like it's like the tone is just kind of, it seems off to me.
Really? Interesting.
And not in a way that I'm like, this is poor quality.
Yeah.
In a way that I didn't like vibe with it. I'm like, I just like wasn't really having like an enjoyable time with it. I was kind of like,
interesting.
I don't know, man.
Huh.
I can't really put my finger on exactly
just the vibe.
What I didn't like. Yeah, it just kind of seemed like everyone just was like sad the whole time, and there wasn't like really like too much characterization that I cared about.
That's
like,
fair.
If I can compare it to one that's like definitely on my top 3, Darjeeling.
Yeah.
Which I know is, your favorite.
Yeah, that's my top.
It's so like all the characters are depressed in that, and it's okay because their dad just died and they're on their way to they're on the way to the funeral, or
they're on their way to get their mom.
They're on their way to get to their mom. So the tone is perfect.
Yeah.
And Steve Zissou, I just feel like everyone's just, almost like, I wouldn't, if I didn't know any better, I would think maybe the actors were kind of phoning it in. I don't think that's true because it's, Steve Murray and Willem Dafoe and Angelica Houston.
Yeah.
But I do just, I can't really enjoy the movie for some, I don't know why.
That's fair.
But I don't know, what are some other of your favorite movies, and how does Asteroid City kind of rank in there?
Man, well, now that I gave it a 5, it's pretty up there, It's definitely like Darjeeling.
Okay.
Limited is top.
For sure.
Then maybe
Mr. Fox.
Yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox.
That movie's amazing.
And then oh man. Maybe this.
Wow, okay. Top 3. Sure. I don't blame you.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
don't
phenomenal
know.
movie. I loved it.
The pressure's on right now. Maybe I'm gonna put that at 4 and Rushmore at 3.
Okay.
That feels
I
better.
still haven't seen Rushmore.
Yeah, I feel bad putting Asteroid City above Rushmore.
I get that.
And then so Darjeeling, Mr. Fox, Rushmore, Asteroid City,
Grand Budapest.
Okay. I haven't seen Isle of Dogs. Probably Bottle Rocket.
Okay.
French Dispatch. Haven't seen Isle of Dogs. Oh, I forgot about Steve Zissou. Sorry.
No, it's
God.
okay. I can stay at the bottom. No,
So,
I'm kidding.
hey, shut up.
I know you like Steve Zissou.
So, Darjeeling Limited, Mr. Fox, Rushmore, Asteroid City, Life Aquatic,
Okay.
Bottle Rocket, French Dispatch.
Royal Tenenbaums.
Ooh, I'll put Royal Tenenbaums above Bottle Rocket.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Then Bottle Rocket, French Dispatch. And does that leave Isle of Dogs?
Yeah.
Okay, and then that's just at the bottom just because I haven't seen it.
I don't think we're forgetting here. Let me look because
I'm pretty. Oh wait, no, Moonrise Kingdom.
Moonrise Kingdom,
I
but we
also
both haven't seen that.
So that's also at the bottom, just because it's not applicable.
Yeah, that movie's been on my watch list since I was like 13.
Dude, me too. I really want to see it.
I know.
I know that it's gonna be great.
I know it's gonna be great.
But I just for some reason haven't done it. But
Man.
yeah, those are just the 2 I haven't checked out. I'm pretty sure I'm not forgetting any others, but yeah.
I would say for what I've seen, Fantastic Mr. Fox is, and that's just
so good.
that's just on my like probably top 10 movies
Of all time. Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw that, I was on such a high, where I was like, dude, I just saw like the best. It's like animated, but it's like not really. It's like claymation, but it's like not really, like it's like not for kids.
Yeah.
And I was like, and like there's this like scene where he just gets an argument with Bill Murray, and Bill Murray's like a badger, and they're just like, what the
me?
cuss? I'll take care of you now, you little cuss. and you're just like, wait, what?
What's happening? Yeah, that's
man,
great,
that
man.
movie is so phenomenal, bro.
So good.
Everything about that movie, I think, is perfect.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Not just there's nothing wrong with it. Everything is like amazing
Yeah.
and like the opposite of wrong.
It's absolutely perfect. It's a gem.
All the voice acting, and it's just got like that. Like it just makes you laugh at stuff that is like you wouldn't think that you would really laugh at it, but you're just like, that's what's going on?
Yeah. What the cuss?
What the when he, yeah, the whole scene where Bill Murray is describing what are the three evil tycoon guys?
Mm-hmm.
What Bunsen, Burner, and Bean, or whatever.
I think so. Something
like
I'm
that.
not sure.
I need to rewatch that. I haven't seen it in a
too.
few years.
I haven't seen it in like 3 years either. I need to check that out again.
Man. That was one of the last things I watched with my grandma, dude. I remember, and you know,
so good.
She shared her cancer medication the first time I watched it.
Yeah.
And it just, you know, elevated the experience. Always make sure that you have someone share their cancer medication with you before you watch Fantastic Mr. Fox if you haven't seen it.
Amen to that.
Yeah, and then I'd say Darjeeling and probably what would be Darjeeling is great because it's just very character driven.
Yeah.
And
super vibey too. I love the India setting.
The India setting's amazing. Not to mention the whole soundtrack is pretty much a Kinks album.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. Where and there's that one Rolling Stones song at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never seen where like they have 4 songs in a movie and they're just subsequently on an album next to each other.
Exactly.
I thought that was really cool. I was like, I guess Wes Anderson's been listening to Lola versus Power Man from 1970.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, that's so. And then probably I would put Royal Tenenbaums. No, I might put this above that, and then Life Aquatic, I think.
Okay.
Have I only seen 5 of his movies?
You haven't seen Grand Budapest?
That's what I was missing. Okay, I would probably put Grand Budapest above Asteroid City, and then Asteroid City, and then Royal Tenenbaums.
Gotcha.
And that's my top 5.
Very cool.
And
then Life Aquatic at the bottom.
then Life Aquatic, yeah.
Gotcha.
Man, dude.
Very nice.
I think that Grand Budapest is definitely like, it seems to be kind of like his like Wes Anderson's like his magnum opus, I guess, what people consider to be his best movie.
It's like his peak, basically.
And I see why. I mean, it's a great movie, but I mean also I feel like, you know, it's kind of a typical Wes Anderson story.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't really, it didn't blow my mind. I just this
is a fantastic Wes Anderson.
This is a fantastic Wes Anderson film. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gave it 9 out of 10, like probably 20 minutes in.
Yeah,
it stayed there.
It's fantastic.
It's
exactly.
funny. It's I love the early 1900s setting.
Mm-hmm.
I love Gustav's relationship with the bellboy.
Yeah.
Where's my bellboy?
It's great.
It's so good, dude. And also, you know, again, so many like, you know, actors that obviously just want to work with Wes Anderson. I guarantee you Harvey Keitel was in there for probably 5 minutes, where normally he'd be getting paid, you know, a few $100,000. He'd probably do that for free.
Probably something, yeah. Or next to free.
Something
exactly.
Like that. Because people just want to be in his movies because they're just enjoyable little projects.
Exactly, man.
Yeah, dude, that movie's just... It's great from start to finish. I didn't mean to underplay how great the movie was.
No, it's fantastic.
And then Royal Tenenbaums, I've always felt like is kind of like his kind of the... Isn't that the movie that kind of put him on the map?
I think...
Kind of like his Pulp Fiction.
I think so. Or maybe Rushmore was, because Rushmore, I think, was his second film.
Oh, really? Rushmore?
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure on that.
Royal Tenenbaums, if I could just talk about that for a second, I just want to say, it has the weird vibe of The Life Aquatic, kind of, where everyone's just in a weird mood and kind of this weird disposition the whole time.
Uh-huh.
But it works because that family is so fucked up.
Yeah.
Dude, I was... And, like, what's her name? Gwyneth Paltrow's character is, like, the adopted sister, and she's, like, making out with, like, her brother. But, like, they're not, like, it's, like, not blood-related, but...
It's weird.
But, yeah, I kind of liked how, like... I feel like that's kind of, like, the most, like... I guess, like... real of his movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where it's not... It doesn't seem like it has really, like, a fantasy or whimsical element to it.
Yeah,
and it's kind of just
the most like grounded in reality.
Exactly. Yeah.
I would say that also for like, I feel like that's most of his first few movies.
Okay, well, I haven't seen Bottle Rocket or Rushmore.
Bottle Rocket is just a flat out heist movie, so it's
shit.
like it's very grounded in reality.
Okay.
And then Rushmore is like just out of school,
okay.
So it's like very grounded. Darjeeling. Pretty grounded.
Darjeeling,
like, they're all
I think
pretty
is
grounded.
I think is grounded, but I feel like Royal Tenenbaums is more kind of relatable, or not relatable. I feel like Darjeeling is definitely more relatable. I feel like Rushmore is kind of more grounded in reality. Darjeeling kind of has a very whimsical bedtime story element to it too. I feel like
definitely I feel like that's where he kind of started implementing that, and then for the Life Aquatic is where he really took his first stab at taking like a very storybook kind of
very
approach.
Storybook. Like it's almost like you know those the rides at Disneyland where they're like it's very storybook and kind of like you have like these cardboard like little sets or set pieces.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like kind of like another thing it kind of reminds me of. You've seen that video it's like a trip to the moon from 1912.
Yeah.
Kind of like how that is. And then Smashing Pumpkins did like a really cool kind of like riff on it for their music video for Tonight.
Right.
But I don't even know. I don't know what that concept is called or that art style is called. But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Where it's like, okay, like it's modern, but we're going to try and like aesthetically make it seem like it's, 1912.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the vibe I got from Darjeeling.
I get that.
I kind of felt like I was watching like a storybook, especially with how like I don't know how else to say this, but how like left side of the screen to right side of the screen the movie is. It's very like
horizontal.
Yeah, it's very horizontal.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I like that though. I like that it didn't really feel like super realistic. It felt like I was just it felt like I was watching a story that I could see someone like telling me about three brothers who just lost their dad.
Yeah.
And who are kind of on this journey through India.
Definitely.
Whereas Royal Tenenbaums is just like pretty raunchy stuff and some kind of like messed up.
I think it's probably his like darkest film.
It is.
For sure.
It is. That was the one of his movies that I wasn't like, wait, is this PG-13 or is this R?
I definitely think he like was going through some
stuff
when he made that movie.
Probably going through something.
Probably wasn't a great time in his life.
Which is I was gonna say that's a great place to end with a little game called Is it PG-13 or is it R?
Oh.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Was Asteroid City PG-13 or was it R?
I would say PG-13.
But they had full nudity from Scarlett Johansson.
I forgot about that. R. It would have to be R.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's look it
the
up right
rest
now.
of the movie, I would
'Cause
say.
I think it was PG-13.
I'm pretty sure it's PG-13.
Isn't that like I love how he has like the softest R-rated movies in like existence.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically like PG up until like that.
No, for real.
And then it's just like, whoa, out of left field, and then it's like a half a second, it's over, and it's like, what just happened?
My little cousin Roman was not allowed to watch any R movies until he turned like 12 or 13 or something. And I remember I was trying to watch Grand Budapest with him, and Auntie April was like, she's like, oh, what's the rating? And I was like, oh, I wasn't like lying. I was like, oh, PG-13, just because I was like, you know, I'd seen the movie twice before. I was like, there's no way Grand Budapest Hotel is rated. That's not an R film.
No.
You know? And then, like, we're watching it, 15 minutes in, I know, like, and it's always, like, that one scene that just makes the movie R.
Right.
It's when they're hosing the big guy off, and he's just naked.
Yeah.
Roman lost his shit. Auntie April comes in, she's like, she's like, you know, I know my son wouldn't be laughing at something if, you know, what's going on here? And then she, like, looks, and she's like, she didn't care.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh, like, I didn't know, like, they can show full nudity now? And I was like, oh, well, I don't know. And I clicked back, I was like, wait, it's R? And she's
it's R?
It's Grand Budapest Hotel is R.
Oh, what?
Can you believe that?
I had no idea.
Well, I guess I just
Let's
gave
see what
that answer away.
I mean, I would assume that Asteroid City is probably also R then.
Isn't that weird? But here, I'm just gonna show you. Okay, so check this out.
Yep, Grand Budapest is rated R.
Just like that, I would show my kid, like, I would show, like, my 10 and 12-year-old, like, Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah, I completely forgot that there was nudity in there.
I mean, it's not even a... Okay, and then let's look at Asteroid City.
That's crazy.
It is not rated?
There's no rating on there?
I'm
That's
like,
random.
okay, I want to see if my kids can see this. Are you able to tell me?
There it is.
Okay, wait.
You gotta click on it, I think.
Is it gonna tell me? Overview.
Try, I guess, searching for the rating.
What is Asteroid City rated? Oh, it is PG-13.
PG-13?
For brief graphic nudity. I was pretty graphic already.
Yeah, full frontal nudity. It's pretty graphic, I'd say. Maybe if it lasted longer than half a second, it would push it to R. You think?
I do not get how the MPAA works.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, there's no rhyme or reason to their rating.
No. I mean, Titanic is rated PG-13, and it has full frontal nudity, too.
What about for a guy, though? Like, can we see a dick and it would still be PG-13?
Well, I mean, I guess not, since Grand Budapest is R, and it did. But
what's going on here?
But there's a lot of violence in Grand Budapest as well, and a lot of cursing and stuff. So maybe that's also helped push it to R. I don't know though. What's going on here?
Something's afoot.
This is weird.
No, well, that would be a Tarantino movie. But nah.
Something afoot.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm gonna make a stupid joke. I'm gonna make a foot joke. No, dude, I'm trying to like rack my brain right now. Okay, so okay, call me crazy, but I feel like a PG-13 movie shouldn't earn like A-list celebrity like nudity. Yeah, does that make sense?
No, that should definitely be R.
Like that's kind of, I feel like that's like the equivalent of, you know, like going to McDonald's and being like, okay, I'm trying to be healthy today, so can you please give me a Diet Coke and a salad?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I mean, you're not really. It's like, dude, just get a burger and chow down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you might as well just have, like, you know, actual, like, full-on, like, you know, porno, like, nudity. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, where is this going now?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying that I think that it's kind of weird that a movie can earn a PG-13 rating and have like all the goods. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I definitely feel like that should be R.
I know. For the only, I mean, if anything, being that, like, okay, you know, son, you don't get to see Scarlett Johansson naked until you're this, you know, old.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just protect the people who are going into the movie, man.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
they're not ready.
Right.
But yeah, man. Okay, that's good to know that the MPAA is definitely does not make any sense whatsoever.
None.
Or not. We already knew that, but to kind of reinstate that, to
Yeah.
have that understanding.
Exactly.
I mean, there's movies that I wonder what, like, if movies, like, if someone just, like, was really bored because, you know, of this all these union shutdowns or whatever, the protests, someone just decided, like, you know, from the MPAA, okay, we're gonna, like, go through all these popular movies and we're gonna re-rate them.
Oh yeah.
Like, dude, they would have, like, you know, I feel like there's a decent chunk of the the PG movies from, like, the 80s that would get changed to R, like, flat out.
Definitely.
I don't know how Jaws was PG.
Crazy times.
That scene of him eating the one guy, like, traumatized me.
The kid too.
The kid, oh my god, yeah.
Yep. Insane.
Jeez, man. And I would go ahead and I think we're good. We discussed.
I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we pretty much covered.
We hit the nail
it
on
all.
the head.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. I love it.
So, thank you all for joining this wild train to Asteroid City.
You gotta put a fan in here.
Yeah, dude, it's getting toasty up in here. It's getting warm. But yeah, if you want to contact us and send some questions in to maybe be featured in a future episode, you can send us an email at themiscastreview@gmail.com or send us a DM on Instagram at themiscastreview. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Have a lovely day. Stay cool, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
Be safe out there, guys.
Peace.